If you total everything together on and off screen, MrBeast has given away tens of millions of dollars throughout his life. The thought of this and the fact that his latest video featured someone who competed in 3 different videos, but finally won, brought me to the question, where are the major winners of his channel at today, and how did winning affect their life? Well, the first major instance we're going to look at is Jimmy giving his own brother $100,000. His brother CJ spent 25% of this on equipment for his YouTube channel, 25% more on a brand new pickup truck, and then went about town wasting it and giving it away to people to promote his new channel. I think this is a very nice instance. It's amazing to be able to treat your family after working yourself into such a great position, and it shows how much MrBeast truly loves those in his life. Unfortunately, CJ's channel did not end up working out, but that does not mean MrBeast has not helped build careers in his wake. David Baker is a perfect example of someone who took the opportunity and ran with it. He did not explicitly win any giant giveaways, yet ended up competing in multiple videos in the early days of the MrBeast challenges, and winning small amounts of money across multiple videos, using that clout to make content of his own and build his own empire well past 1 million subs, raking over 300,000 subscribers every single month after appearing for MrBeast. So far, we've mostly discussed people who do not have a large public presence, but in the next case, Speed and Chunks were given access to MrBeast's credit card with $100,000. Interestingly, they did not exactly win this, but were given this if they would quit a challenge where everyone had to keep their hands on a private jet that was worth $2 million to keep it. These two took the money and ended up spending almost all of it on jewelry, but in a very kind act gave away $15,000 to their fans. On the thought of those with large platforms is winning from MrBeast, his complete clone Phidias ended up winning a Lamborghini and selling it. The challenge 50 people keep their hand on the Lamborghini. Unfortunately, this helped to boost the platform of such a terrible creator. But moving on to a positive note, let's talk about the biggest video MrBeast has ever made, which is the Squid Game Challenge, and the winner of Everything Cam. This one is definitely a happy story about someone deserving to win the prize. Keep in mind, these were obstacle courses designed after the Squid Game show, and 450 different contestants were competing to win first place, considerably one of the hardest of his challenges of all time, especially to get first place. Unfortunately, winning such an event led to all of the cockroaches crawling out from under the sink, and Cam started dealing with tons of people begging him for money and handout. Luckily, Kim ended up using the clout to build a large following on TikTok, posting comedic skits, and even to this day is creating great content. Creators Bella and Dallin ended up spending well over $1,000 to win MrBeast's Willy Wonka style golden ticket giveaway, and luckily for them, they competed against 10 other contestants and ended up winning ownership of his chocolate factory. Of course, in reality, it would not be feasible for them to run, so MrBeast ended up buying the factory from him for $500K in cash. They then used their winnings and platform to build up the brand even higher, having donated today over $6 million to charity across the years. The next person on this list is one of my personal favorite stories, and that is Sean Hendricks. He had to endure living alone for 100 days to claim his prize of $500,000. I personally remember watching this video premiere and the concept absolutely blowing my mind. He had to go without his wife and children the entire time, except for Father's Day when MrBeast was kind enough to allow them to swing by. Jimmy and the boys messed with him throughout the whole thing, begging him to quit for smaller amounts of money, as MrBeast does, but Sean stuck through it like a trooper, and he was able to make it the full 100 days and happily celebrated the ending with his family. He then went on to use that money to buy a nice house in North Carolina, but also has ended up working for 7 months as a director of development for MrBeast full-time if you check his LinkedIn. Talk about making the most out of a bad situation. The next one is also a personal favorite of mine, as he had a competition against the crew in which Chandler ended up winning, and he won an $800,000 private island. I don't really think I need to tell you where Chandler is, but if you don't know, he was a janitor working for MrBeast that made it into a couple of videos, ended up becoming good friends with Jimmy, and is now one of the most successful people on the platform of YouTube today, arguably. And speaking of such successful YouTubers, Zach King ended up winning $1 million for MrBeast. If you're not familiar with him, he's the guy on YouTube that always makes those visually stunning shorts and almost impossibly edited videos. Zach took the winnings and ended up distributing it to multiple charity organizations, and mainly for foster care, which as someone who personally was adopted, I love to hear that, Zach. Now, wrapping this one up is one of the happier stories, Mark Mantinus. He won $1 million from MrBeast and spent the money explicitly on his family, getting them a brand new home, brand new items, and saving the rest, completely changing the life of him and his family for the better forever.